Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. If you're new then hi, my name's Caitlin and today we are doing a kind of help me pick a pan that palette hypothetically. I've picked, I think there's 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes, there's 9 palettes here by my side and they're all palettes that I think I could probably completely pan. I'm not actually going to do it. If you are not new to my channel, you will know that I've had a few goes at pan that palettes and they just haven't really worked out in my favour. So I've just learned that pan that palette isn't for me, but this video idea is still very fun. I think I can get a lot of use out of these palettes beside me. Even though I'm not going to be focusing on them for a pan that palette, I am going to be focusing on them through the year, so I am still going to be getting a lot of use out of them and I'm still going to be hitting pans in them, but it's not going to be a focus for the whole year. But just before we jump into it, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe because it would mean the world to me. I'm doing Vlogmas, so I'm uploading every single day in December, so stick around because I'd love to see you. Alright then, let's jump into it. Let's start with the obvious. This is my Modern Renaissance palette. So I've already got 3 pans in this palette. I've got Cypress Umber here. I've got Warm Taupe here. I have Vermeer. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see Vermeer very well. And I have Tempera as well. So this palette has been people's pan that palette of choice for a very long time. I honestly think I could pan this. I think Venetian Red and Love Letter would be very hard for me to do, but I think I could do it. I think if I really focused in on them, I would be able to pan it. With me as well, panning a palette doesn't mean finishing it, it means hitting pan on all the shades. I don't think I could pan completely any palette because it's hard enough getting me to hit pan on all the shades. But yeah, I think I could hit pan on all of these shades. The pinks would be really difficult, but I think I could do it. I think this corner here is very repetitive, so I think that would get on my nerves a little bit. Like these 3 kind of yellowy tones, very, very similar. But no, I think I would be able to hit pan on every shade in this. I am planning on, I think tomorrow, going up is official panning list for 2022, like goals, and I'm gonna have very specific shades that I want to hit pan on, so definitely stick around for that because this is making an appearance tomorrow as well. But yeah, I think I could hit pan on all these shades very quickly. The formula is very powdery, so that works in my favour. Yeah, it's a classic and I think every panner has tried to pan that palette. So next is my Soft Glam palette, also from ABH. I've only used this a handful of times. It looks pretty much brand new, so that's not really in my favour, but it is such a beautiful palette and I could definitely hit pan on all of these shades if I really worked for it. There isn't one shade in here that I think, oh, maybe not. Maybe rose pink, because you know how I feel about pinks, but it's a very subtle pink. It's a very neutral pink, so I think honestly I could hit pan in every single shade. The problem for me would be I would get bored. This is my makeup aesthetic. I love bright blues, I love bright, colourful colours, but obviously for uni and for kind of, I was going to say everyday, but this is my everyday. But for uni and more professional environments, this would come in so handy. I do want to get a lot more use out of this in 2022. It's probably going to be in my official list as well because it's so beautiful. I've had it for a year now and I haven't reached for it that much, so I really do want to get more use out of that. So this is my Bella Pierre's All Stars palette. I adore this palette so much. This is what she looks like. She is very colourful, she's beautiful. I've already got a few pans in here and I think I could pan this. It would be very hard. Like this pink, I mean, it's already got a pretty big dent in it already, so, I mean, I don't know. But like these purples as well, these 2, they would be extremely hard for me to hit pan on. I'm not a purple person. But other than that, I really think that this is a really good pan that palette choice. It has so many different options for you. You can go neutral, you can go colourful, and the formula is very easy to hit pan on most of these shades. So this shade I hit pan on probably 10 uses. This shade here I've probably used a handful of times and there's a massive dip in it. The shimmers are a little harder to hit pan on just because the mattes are so kick-uppy. It's kind of unreal. But I love this palette. I really think this is a good palette and the shimmers are breathtaking, and yeah, I think I would be able to pan that palette. Maybe not in a year, but I don't know. Well, I don't know. But I'm definitely going to be getting more pans out of that in 2022. Okay, this little guy. This is the Natasha Denona Mini Star palette. I'm a little disappointed with this palette, I really am. The blue is what I bought it for, and it's just a little bit lackluster. So that shade would definitely give me trouble. But the rest of the shades are so nice. I know Natasha Denona has a very hard-pressed formula. There's not much kick up, and apparently the pans are very deep as well. So that would be a bit of a challenge. But there's only 5 shades in here. For an everyday look, I would get so bored just using this palette for a year. I know myself, I would not be able to do that. But as like a focus palette for the year, I think this would be a really nice shout. The blue, obviously, I want to use it more just because I want to find a way to use this blue. It just looks really dirty and muddy on my eyes. I don't know if it's because I'm used to this amount of colour, and Natasha Denona is obviously a bit more subtle and subdued. But yeah, it wasn't what I hoped it would be. But no, I think I could hit pan in all of these shades if I found a way to use the blue. Definitely. I think it's a really beautiful little palette. We have the Samira II by Juvia's Place. So, we already have one pan in here, and that is this top shade here. I think I could pan it. I really think I could. Obviously, these 2 blues are right up my street. I just dug my nail into one of the shades. Wow. Obviously, these 2 blues are right up my street. You can see I love blue. This shade would be a challenge. It's like a bright pink. So that would be a challenge, but I think I could do it. I think I can push myself. There's only 9 shades, so 9 shades for the whole year really isn't that bad. And obviously I've already hit 1, so that's 8. And yeah, Juvia's Place, the mattes normally take me about 25 uses, and the shimmers normally take me about 15 to 20. It would be a challenge, it really would, but this colour story, I really enjoy this colour story. I think it's really, really pretty. I went through a phase where I hated this, but now I can appreciate it now, and yeah, I really, really do enjoy that palette. So I think I could pan that in a year. Another option, slightly different, this is my Sofx Revolution palette, and this was my pan that palette this year. Yeah, this is what it looks like. I have 4 shades that don't have pan. They are these 2 kind of warm tone here, and then this gold and this purple up here. I think I could completely pan this. Like, I want to pan this completely in 2022. So I'm going to be hitting pan on those 4. This purple has a big dip in it already, so I'm very happy about that. This purple gave me so much hassle. I really don't like this colour, but I was pushing through. An option would be to carry on with this, pick this back up again, and try and get as much use as I can out of it. I know that that wouldn't be the best thing for me personally, because no. As much as I love this palette, I have not touched it since I put it away from my Pan That palette. So yeah, it would be a big struggle for me to limit myself to just this again. But I mean, as I said, I am going to be using the shades individually, hitting pan on them individually, but it is an option. If I wanted to do Pan That palette again, I could carry on working on this. Another option, it's another quite neutral one, but I just love it. This is the Layla Cutie palette. I've never hit pan on a Layla eyeshadow before, but this is what this guy looks like, and it is just beautiful. This is my perfect neutral palette, I think. Just smoky, grungy, beautiful. This silver makes me want to die every time I use it in the best way. It is absolutely breathtaking and I love it so much. I love all the shades. This gold is a little bit weird, but other than that, I love them all. I love them all. And there's only 6 shades, so I think I could pan that in a year, definitely. I might do a mini pan that palette. I don't know, but it's something to think about, I guess, and I guess you'll see in January. If I decide to do a mini pan that palette, you'll see in January. But yeah, this is definitely a contender because it's just beautiful. I love that. Another neutral palette, this is the That's Taupe. You see this has been a little bit beaten and bruised, but all of these shades are just beautiful. I could see myself hitting pan on all of these shades. I adore them, and yeah, they're just like, they're neutral with like a hint of cool tone. I wouldn't call them fully cool tone because I think like this is cool tone. You know, you can see the difference. But this is such a neutral palette for every day. I really do enjoy it and I do want to get more use out of this in 2022. Definitely. So yeah, I could definitely pan that. And there's like a Super Shock in here just to make things a little special, you know? And finally, the last palette in this video is the Too Faced Pumpkin Spice. This is what she looks like. Sorry about the glare. There you go. This shade would be horrendous for me to try and pan. Use Spicy. I'm not even going to go there. Spice of Life, this purple, would be horrendous for me to try and pan. But I think the rest of them I could pan. This is Too Faced though, so it's going to take about 70 uses to hit pan on each of these shades. But I do want to hit pan on maybe 1 or 2 of these shades next year, definitely, because it is such a beautiful palette, and yeah, that's just a goal that I've set myself. So they are the palettes that I could probably hit pan on if I really focused hard on. I'm not going to though. I may, as I said, do a mini pan that palette, maybe update that every 2 months. I don't know, I really don't know yet. But yeah, that is something fun that I've done. So if you're planning to do a pan that palette next year, let me know, because I would love, I just love binging pan that palettes. Even though I can't do them, I love watching them. I have so much respect for everyone who does them. So definitely let me know in the comments if you're doing a pan that palette, because I will go over and subscribe to you and I will follow you along on your journey. If you are new here, then definitely subscribe, because even though I may not be doing a pan that palette, I am doing so many other fun project pans and I don't want you to miss out. So that is it for me today, guys. Thank you so much for watching and I will see you tomorrow for a new video. Bye!